here. It's the heavy long-haul hydrogen truck. But René Wollmann, our CTO, will explain more about the truck. And now I will hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, warm welcome from my side. My name is René Wollmann. I'm the CTO of Quantron since roughly 2.5 years. And I'm honored to explain you actually again about some details of the truck. So the first time you had a glimpse at the last IAA 2 years ago, where we introduced our first prototype. Maybe you see some differences about it, but I will tell you in a moment what it is. So basically we're talking about FCV in this particular case. It's a full-fledged long-haul truck. It's called QHM Aero FCV. And as you can see, you can't see anything because this is the basic USP of this truck. So you can see so less that we even needed to print H2 on the side because otherwise you wouldn't even recognize. And this is so important to us because the customer voice are clear. They don't want to change everything because the transformation to zero emission is already a huge step for most of them. And if they then also need to change their behavior with the trailer, with the overall length, and you name it, they are just moving more and more away from the transformation. And we took it serious. We then took a lot of efforts to implement all of the technology inside the chassis. That means when we look around this truck, you can't see the tanks, you can't see the fuel cell, you can't see actually anything which is different to a diesel. But there's a lot of differences. We have 240 kilowatt fuel cell power, which is at the moment on the road one of the most powerful FCVs you find. We have 54 kilogram of hydrogen, gaseous 700 bar. This is also right now, at least from implementation perspective, the most you can find, and we have even also 350 bar filling possibilities. These all combined with our own e-axle, co-developed in a way that this e-axle can get a continuous power of 420 kilowatt and a peak power of 550 kilowatt, and capable to pull 48 kilonewton meters. So even if the slopes are a bit taller and the weight is a bit heavier at the end, we are still able to pull everything away. And now let's come to a bit more the technical part of it. You see a bit this uncommon, I call it nose. Yeah, you see that maybe in the front when you go a bit to the sides, you see that we have a bit of bulky nose. This is all for good reason. This is the first element, our part of our aero kit, we call it. Because what is super important, as hydrogen, as everybody knows, right now is still quite costly. It is kind of the champagne of the mobility segment, right? And therefore we need to make sure that we treat it with care. That means that we're not going to waste it. And not going to waste means we need to increase the efficiency as much as we can. Starting from the front, because aero is actually pretty simple. The air you get, you should not lose it at the end. But if you start losing the air already at the front, means when you have a very flat surface, imagine you would be in the air, you hit the flat surface, you don't know where to go to. That means you start tumbling, you start rotating, a lot of turbulences, that's it. You never get it back. The air is lost, you don't get it back on the sides, a lot of drag is introduced. What we are doing here, we are telling the air where to go. Somehow we guide upside, then over the roof through a special spoiler arrangement to really cover also the trailer behind. And the other part goes straight into our cooler. Because as everybody may have learned, fuel cell electric vehicles needs different kind of cooling than diesel, also in quite high magnitude, and therefore it's super important to take care. The air we've got, let's treat it with care, let's get it back into the cooler, let's get the heat out of the system, and then guide the air carefully around the fuel cells and at the end out. That means we can then guide the air, which is turbulent at the end, behind the cabin, back onto the trailer, and we achieve a very, very low drag and a very, very good efficiency. Combined then with a very binomical front, which you see here, so pretty much no edges anymore, to treat again the air as carefully as we can to guide it then over the wheel arch back to the truck and back to the trailer. And at the end of the day, I mean, 2 years ago you have seen it, and now we are already in a very, very heavy testing. Also with these little child over there, so you maybe see some dents and some marks, so that is because this truck is really used. So we use it day by day, we do validation, we run homologation with it. It has no license plates at the moment, because we're also changing some software elements into it, and we cannot redo our homologation every second day, right? So therefore, we run with red license plate with it at the moment. It's all mainly about the efficiency. So we really fine-tune the efficiency to a level, as said, for us a super important efficiency factor. And roughly by Q3 with this year, we'll hand over the first vehicles then to a very let's say, proud client at that point in time. And then they can really run long haul without, let's say, disturbance of the charging. Because the filling with that truck takes 15 to 20 minutes, depends on the filling station, and then off you go for another 600, 700 kilometers. And this is very unique. So very high USPs, looking forward to see more of these then on the road by the end of the year. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, René. As I said, this is one part of the ecosystem which we have in place. And as René said, efficiency is the key for us to reduce the total cost of ownership in front of the customer. We are doing everything with our DNA, what we have in front of the customer, that we are customer oriented and to reduce the cost. And this is what we're doing here. This is the first truck you can see with 240 kilowatt of fuel cell system inside. And I'm very proud of that, what you and your team achieved so far. And we will see the next steps also on the show in September.